Breaking news tonight about what appears to be a real case of international meddling. It appears the British are meddling in American politics, and they're doing so with what is almost a secret think tank operation that, interestingly enough, is being paid for by British taxpayers.
More revelations of a shadowy alleged conspiracy involving NATO, the UK Foreign Office and British intelligence to distort public perception of the world around them. The Integrity Initiative has been identified in the past few weeks by the purported anonymous organisation or collective, which released this video on YouTube.
Britain has in fact created a large-scale information secret service in Europe, the United States and Canada, which consists of representatives of political, military, academic and journalistic communities, with the think tank in London at the head of it. As part of the project, Britain has time and again intervened into domestic affairs of independent European states.
There's so many British intelligence links to our domestic Russiagate scandal, but here what we've uncovered, me and my co-author Mark Ames at the Gray Zone Project, is a effort to infiltrate American politics by this British operation called the Integrity Initiative. Now, Americans might be familiar with Operation Mockingbird. It was revealed in the 70s through the Church Commission when the CIA was actually making covert payments to hundreds of U.S. journalists during the Cold War. This is very similar. There was an obscure think tank called the Institute for Statecraft in the UK. Its internal email servers were hacked. The communications revealed the existence of the Integrity Initiative, which was covertly backed to the tune of over $2 million by the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office, which oversees the main foreign intelligence operations of the British government. And what they had done was form these little clusters of journalists and pundits and pseudo-experts across the West, including in the U.S., to coordinate their messaging campaign. And they're very clear in these documents about what they want. Number one, they want to get the West, and especially the U.S. and the U.K., on a permanent war footing against Russia. And number two, smear anyone who gets in their way. And now they're coming to the U.S., and as we've seen from the latest release of documents, the Integrity Initiative's director, who is a military intelligence colonel in the U.K., Chris Donnelly, is having high-level meetings with U.S. government officials and journalists in the U.S.
Let's talk about what their actual publicly stated goal is, right? I want to read you the definition of it. The publicly stated goal is we are a network of people and organizations from across Europe dedicated to revealing and combating propaganda and disinformation. That is their goal, to combat propaganda and disinformation. But once you look at these documents, what you find out is that they're actually performing the very definition of propaganda by creating something that they call clusters, which is essentially trying to pull together people from Hollywood, news media, politicians, think tanks, all kinds of thought leaders, and to give them the same message, which is an anti-Russia message, that they can push out across Europe and into the United States. And so when you start trying to organize large groups of people to all say the same thing, Tyrell, what else is there to define propaganda?
Famed hacker group Anonymous is at it again, this time showing us how the UK is using social media to manipulate public sentiment as it pertains to Russia, at least. Now, Anonymous took to their own website for the document dumps both times. This latest one, though, included names and contact info for people in various EU countries, including Bill Browder, who they claim are all a part of this misinformation campaign. The UK have organized clusters of operatives in countries like England, Germany, Spain, and other EU nations to essentially rally around the whole Russia narrative as a scapegoat, especially as the UK is facing difficulty in the ongoing Brexit ordeal. Now, they say having Russia as the scapegoat helps to keep the population and the media all united. So, Natasha, the irony here is that the UK government is doing exactly what it's accusing Russia of doing, and that is interfering with the domestic relations of all these other countries. Now, in the psychology world, this would be called projecting, but this is politics, and what we are witnessing here is the deliberate distraction technique with the masterful use of the media and other soft powers, Natasha.